Okay, so actually to calculate the FAR, and again you have to do the FAR, therefore the floor configurations for the second two axles, okay, not for the first one. Now what can we do with this? And that's when it's good to check the schedule, and I think it's very good help if you follow the slides a bit. Okay, to create a schedule, it's as simple as going to the bottom of the project browser and right click on schedule and say new schedule quantity. Okay, this window will pop up. Now you can schedule pretty much anything that it has parameters within it in Revit. So we need to search for one that is under mass, and under mass floor. We say OK. Salud. And we start including parameters from that mass floor that we want to have in our schedule. So, well, definitely we want to have levels. That's important. We definitely want to have, like, usage is nice. We're going to be able to change that. You could add mark later on. You will have mark. You can add a comment at the bottom. Floor area, definitely. That's what we really want. So, and you could even have perimeter. There's a floor. Let me see if we find it. Floor volume. Okay, I don't see it. Anyway. Well, on the older version, there used to be a floor. Oh, there is perimeter. There you go. By the way, remember you can move these guys up and down by clicking on these elements. So you say OK, and automatically opens a window of schedule. Okay, which, by the way, you can organize this way. You can add things directly. You can, for example, usage. We haven't declared any usage, so there's nothing inside. But we can just say something like, let's imagine commercial being the first and second floor. So you can click one and it saves it automatically. And let's say that basement is mechanics. And we're going to put a number in front so we can organize. You'll see how that happens. Like a 0 spacebar. Commercial is going to be something like 1 spacebar. And this one's going to be residential, like number 3, for example. Okay. So now it's stored there, 3, 3, 3, 3. So basically, it's something I'm creating. It's a parameter that I'm inserting. It doesn't come directly from Revit, but it could be useful for some particular issues, as you will see in a second. Okay. Now this is it. We could add comments like, hello, this floor is cool and the other one is not. So you can add any parameter that you want. But you already have some information that is very valuable. For each of the levels, we have the floor area here calculated, and it's changing, which is very convenient. No? Important to know is that obviously the levels are not properly organized here, so I will probably go again and change the levels properly by clicking here and start saying this is number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And just as a reminder, remember that the levels that are in black, that means that they're not under the views, floor plans. The ones that are in blue, they are. So if you want to bring them in, you have to just go under view. You go to plan views, floor plan, and you select the ones that you don't have, and you say OK, and they will come up here. They will also be open, so make sure you close them. Good. Schedule is there, and now also the names have changed here. So this is messy. You have level 1, level 2, this is level 0. So there's 2 basements. So this is kind of like a messy information. So every schedule has multiple options for reconfiguration. So when you're in the view of the schedule, you double click, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different important windows that you can pop up by pressing edit. You get this little window that actually has the tabs here exactly corresponding with this button. So I normally click one and then I tab around. Okay, there are things such as fields. This we checked before. If you want another field, you can always add it and it will create another column. You can go to filter, you don't want something but you want other things. Sorting, that could be nice to organize, for example, the levels. So I can say, hey, organize it by level and say ascending, and you say OK. And you see how it changes automatically, 0, 1, 2, 3. Good. But not only that, you can sort it by also usage at the same time. Now, whatever is first in the sorting, that's going to be the organization. So you could actually change it to usage, and here to level, and give me a footer, and we'll see what that is. The footer creates this little guy here. That's the footer. Okay. So for each usage, meaning mechanical, by the way, it's wrong spell. For mechanical, it creates one section. For commercial, another one, and for residential, another one. Okay, good. You can also go to formatting and go to some of them, such as floor area, and say calculate totals. Or for floor perimeter, you can do calculate totals as well. That automatically will give you these numbers. So for all the commercial spaces, we know that it's 31,501 square footage. Okay, so all that is quite valuable, no? Good. So again, those are great tools to start understanding. If you say itemize, it will just eliminate. You see how level 0 is here and here? Because you have level 0 residential and level 0 mechanical. It's because I forgot to change that one actually, now that I think. So this should be actually mechanical. There's no residential there, so it will move automatically up there. Again, if I go to itemize, it will split the different. In this case, it's not happening anything, so it's not really a big change. But you can itemize if it's some of the elements are duplicated. You can itemize and they will be collapsed. Okay. Again, I say basement commercial should be mechanical. Sorry, there it is. So I would say that this is a good schedule. Okay, we have the total footage of the entire section. No. By the way, we don't have the total. This number here is the total for residential, and the total for commercial is this one because we set it here under format. Okay. If we want the overall, the grand totals is over here. We click, we say OK, and that would be the number that adds all the numbers at the same time. Okay. So now we know that our proposals has exactly 262,701 square footage. Okay, which is great because if we know that we can so easily, if I'm control tabbing, we can change the heights, for example, of these projects or even the sets, tower W. If I go to the parameters and I say tower W, which is the width of the tower, to be 95, say apply, and it will change automatically. We can save it, load into the project, override, and the numbers change, not only the volume. Okay, so this is the great lesson of this schedule that comes from the massing. Okay, so everybody has to do this as a FAR calculation for this second option, not for the parametric option that I did. How do we do the FAR? Well, we have to write it down in a new sheet. So right click, new sheet. I'm going to load a title block. You guys should load your title block. Remember 2234. And you're going to drag, as I said, first the parametric axonometrics. In my case, are the same, no? So you're going to go to the 3D. You're going to select the view. In your in your parametric you won't have the floor range because that's only for your project to calculate the FAR. And normally again you should duplicate with detailing and call it rename, and you will call it the parametric AXO1 for example, and you can duplicate it with detailing. You go to another view, rename to, okay, and then you will hide this one. You will bring the next one, which is your project. You will do the floorings, you will do the schedule out of that, and you will create two more views to drag into your sheet. Okay. Now obviously this is going to be a very big axis, so you just change the scale to be, I don't know, smaller. One, I'm going to go there and change it beforehand. I think it was 1/30th or no, 1/40. There you go. I go back to the sheet and I drag this one to, I snap and I start moving with the arrows properly. That will be your two first. Again, this one will not have the floorings. The next one will have the floorings and it will be your new project. Here you have to calculate the FAR. So remember the FAR is the site area divided, who knows? What was the site, the FAR calculation? If we have a FAR of 10, that means that we can build how much? How much floor area? Okay, so that will be the number that you get as calculations from FAR, and you have to contrast it with this number, no? The one that is the totals that you have built. If it's bigger, this one, than the FAR calculation, you're in a bad path. If this one's smaller, you're good to go. If it's too small, you're losing money. Okay. Now, how do we drag a schedule into our sheet? Which is drag, as simple as that, the schedule. Okay. Remember that we don't want to have like double lines, so you can always select the schedule here and start moving these little points, so it's clearly. If you check the last slide of the PDF massing parametrics that is in assignment 5, you will actually have an approximation of what I expect here. You need to write a text, so that for that you will go to annotate. You will write a little text here saying, you know, site FAR equals site area multiply by 10, and you do actually the real calculations, and equals whatever square footage, no? And then you will continue, you know, comparing site FAR, you know, site FAR is equal this in comparison to our building FAR, which is equal that. We're in a good track. Okay. Again, if you go, I'm going to show it right now, and then you add here the other text again of the zoning that we did. I think we're done.